Nat 20. Hello adventurers, Merlin here, bringing you another Dungeons & Dragons adventurer video. So continuing with our latest delivery, we're going to be looking at the next issue. So today it's issue 32. So yeah, 32, lovely little issue. So we've got, of course, that new exclusive adventure. We have oozes, slimes and puddings. Not the delicious kind, mind you. We also have mounts and vehicles coverage, and a few new oaths for the paladin, as well as a guide to runes. So, as usual, we get a set of dice with this issue, and yeah, it is a lovely set. We have a beautiful jade sort of set, which is actually described as a green and white slimy sort of set, but yeah, pretty cool in a lovely stylish tin as usual. I'll get on to the point on the tin in a minute. Actually, there's a little bit I have noticed in the just preparing for this video. We'll go over that when we hit the table though. So yeah, that's it. So finally then, before we jump over to the table, don't forget to, of course, like the video if you're enjoying the content, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and check all the links in the video description, including the Mad Merlins Patreon, where you get access to this video a whole 5 days before YouTube. Speaking of that, issue 31 will be up on YouTube, hopefully by the time that this video has gone live on Patreon. Also, another note about videos, I'll be posting up 2 videos this week as I want to try and crack on with this delivery, as I'm a little bit behind due to other things happening on the farm. So I've got 33 read as well, ready to film, so I'll be filming that straight after this one. And then hopefully Monday I'll be able to read and film 34, which I'm looking forward to. Right, that's enough rambling. Let's head over to the table and we'll have a look at issue 32. So here we are then, issue 32 on the table, and we're up close and personal with it. So again, let's have a closer look at those beautiful dice. So we'll actually pull them out of the baggie. A close look in there, you can see my roof and my camera. But yeah, lovely green and white set. That looks really fantastic. So yeah, we'll roll those in just a sec, but let's have another look at the front cover. So yeah, avoid a sticky end as we encounter some new monsters in the form of oozes, slimes and puddings. We learn all about taking a mount and even riding a vehicle. We also have the Oath of Conquest of the Paladin, as well as a few extras. And finally then, of course, we have that article all about writing in runes. So really nice article, that one. So right, let's bring the dice in and give them their customary roll. So we'll pull them out of their tin, if I can. Come on. There we go. So yeah, there we have them. It's really nice, especially with D20. We got beautiful green sort of gel merging in with the misty white there, and yeah, that looks really nice. So pull them all out and we'll give them a couple of rolls. I like the plastic cover, but it is an annoying thing to get out, so I like it, but it's not really needed after the first time you open a packet. Let's see what we get. So 12, 3, 5, 6, 8, 3 and 10, so 13. Yeah. Not the best of rolls. Nat 6 and a Nat 8 on the 6 and 8 respectively. Not too bad otherwise. So let's give them their second roll. Hopefully it might be better, but it could always be worse. actually majority better. So we're 1 better on the D20. We're worse on the D8 and the D6 with 3 on each. Better on the D12. And we're definitely better. We've got a 95 on the percentile dice. And we've also got a 3 again on the D4. Yeah, if we look at the D4 here, that is a beautiful set. It's really transparent there with the green. You got that nice misty white on the inside. Looks really fantastic. Yeah, easily another one of my favorite sets. Alright, let's take a look through our issue then. So here we are then with our latest issue. So stand up. Let's turn the cover and dive in. So full contents for the issue. Of course, we have Adventure 3 Encounter 32, The Temple of Sekolah Part 2. For stage advice, we have an overview all about mounts and vehicles. For spellcasting, we have runes. Character creation, then we look at some bardic colleges and some paths for the barbarian and paladin. And for monsters, we have the oozes. So, as I mentioned at the start of the video, there's a point about the dice in this issue. So if we read the blurb box here, so with this issue, the 32nd issue of Dungeons & Dragons Adventure comes with a set of green and white dice that are as transparent as the gelatinous cube you'll meet in this issue's encounter. It doesn't mention a tin. However, if we bring in issue 33, so the 33rd issue of Dungeons & Dragons Adventure comes with a set of marbled green and black dice plus a stylish dice tin. And this is how the dice are packaged in issue 33. So we have black and green marbled, but no tin. So I think somewhere along the line, they accidentally packaged these in a tin instead of these. But yeah, it does feel weird having 2 tins in a row in issues. I don't know if mine is the only one like it or if other people have had it. But either way, it's fine. We have the dice sets anyway, and I have changed a few over to put some in tins and others in bags that aren't my favorites. But yeah, other than that, pretty good quality of the issue as usual. Oh, go over there then. So yeah, finally then, of course, a D&D Beyond QR code there for you to take. And yeah, I've been using D&D Beyond quite a lot. But yeah, here we go. Let's take a look through the issue then. So we'll start with mounts and vehicles. If you've got more gear than you can carry or need to get from A to B in a hurry, don't fret. Leaping onto a mount or into a vehicle can make your journey much easier. So yeah, my team probably could have done with this when we escaped from our confinement with way more than we ever should have been able to carry. So yeah, this is pretty much just a nice little article covering the importance of mounts and vehicles. So common mounts, of course, are horses, mules, etc. More exotic mounts, such as griffins, are a little harder to find, but can be ideal as well. Much like the Griffin Cavalry of Waterdeep. So yeah, whether your mounts are mundane or magical, you will of course need the equipment to care for it. So saddles, barding, a chariot, a carriage, and even a stable for it to live in. So yeah, vehicles on the other hand can be of course horse-drawn, but they could also be perhaps steam-powered or even magic generation powered. So over the page then we have some tables all about the different mounts and vehicles and how much of course it's going to cost. So mounts and other animals. So we have camel, donkey or mule, elephant, horse draft, a riding horse, mastiff, pony, a war horse. I wonder how much the butterfly displacer beast will cost. That's pretty cool. Some little girl obviously got her parents to go a little overboard and decorated her displacer beast pet as a giant butterfly. Yeah, water vehicles. So we've got different types of boats here, how much they cost and their speed. And then, of course, all your important bits, the attack and harness and other land vehicles, such as wagons here. But yeah, there we go. That's the important information, at least, on mounts and vehicles. Moving on then, let's take a look at the magical inscriptions known as runes. So, learn the power of magic in written form with this runic primer. So magic can take many forms in the Forgotten Realms, whether it's brought forth by words of a scholar or the actions of someone practicing the arcane. But there are different types of magic as well, so not only words, but even written languages. And one of the most common, of course, is runes. So what are runes? Runes can be part of a various communication system. They may be rudimentary in nature, sometimes more symbols than words, and often their roots in deep history, having connections to legendary creatures or extraplanar beings. It's said that giants were the first to carve arcane runes into stones. So yeah, ways of how to encounter runes in your adventures. So traditionally, an arcana check from intelligence will be able to understand the nature of runes that you discover. Yeah, medium difficulty sort of DC check usually. If they're more specific or to a certain species, some might have a harder chance deciphering them, but others might be a lot more easier. So this might require checks such as history or even religion. And even the identify spell can be helpful to learn a little bit about what the runes are protecting. So mostly runes can just be symbolic in nature, but sometimes they can be crafted into invisible traps almost. So something to be cautious of when you are wandering through a seamlessly empty dungeon. Someone might have put a rune of fireball on a wall that will trigger as soon as somebody passes past it, especially someone who shouldn't be there. So moving on then, we got some new colleges for our bards, and this is a variety of extra colleges. So these skilled performers can learn to channel the song of creation, win every argument, or wield weapons much like a fighter. So we've covered quite a few bardic colleges, and yeah, these are some of the lesser known ones, but still pretty cool in their own right. So we've got three to look at. We have College of Creation. So this is more of a bard who is in tune with nature. You can use Song of Creation to create a tiny motor potential, so you can give bard inspiration to somebody. And yeah, very handy little college to learn. We also have the College of Valor, so these bards have tested battle and their tales keep alive the memory of great heroes of the past. So yeah, another one here. So this one allows you to improve compatibility. You get proficiency in martial weapons as well. So you're able to use everything from a battle axe to a whip and even a bowgun or net at range. So it's a very handy one. You also can wear medium armor and carry a shield, giving you a little bit more protection than other bards. And yeah, whenever a creature gains bardic inspiration from College of Valor bards, they can roll a dice to deal additional damage on one of their attacks. Or when they are attacked, they can add this to their AC. So very handy. Nice offensive and defensive sort of thing. And finally, we have the College of Eloquence. So this would possibly be the bardic college I would go for if I was playing a bard, someone who can pretty much turn any conversation onto their side of things. So persuasion is often regarded as a high art by those who join this college. So yeah, able to turn most arguments into benefit of themselves and their party. Benefits of this college: you can treat any roll of 9 or lower on charisma, persuasion or deception checks as a 10. And yeah, you also have unsettling words feature. You can expend the use of your bardic inspiration to roll the dice. The creature must subtract this roll for the next saving throw until your next turn. So yeah, trio there of lovely little colleges for your bards to choose from. Moving on, we have a new barbarian path. This is the path of the Totem Warrior. Pretty nice little path, actually. These spiritual warriors are attuned with the natural world, but that doesn't make them any less ferocious than other barbarians. So yeah, barbarians that become fearless warriors by tapping into their rage that burns deep within them. At 3rd level, you can choose to walk the path of the Totem Warrior, in which case you'll have a specific creature that you can tap into and gain benefits from. So yeah, they are animal seekers, so people who walk this path have an attunement with the natural world and a very good kinship with beasts. As such, you have the ability to cast beast sense and speak with animals as rituals. But it will take an extra 10 minutes to perform the ritual, but no spell slot is needed. And so yeah, for Rage of the Wilds, you have different types of creatures you can tap into. The 5 common ones we have here are Bear, who give you better resistance to all damage except for psychic damage. Eagle, so this one gives you, of course, other creatures gain disadvantage against opportunity attacks, but you can also do dash as a bonus action. So we also have the Elk here. So the Spirit of the Elk will make you swifter, increasing your speed by 15 feet as long as you aren't wearing heavy armor. Tiger, so the Spirit of the Tiger empowers your leaps, adding 10 feet to your jump distance and 3 feet to high jump. And finally we have Wolf here. So the Spirit of the Wolf makes them leader of hunters. While they're raging, their friends have advantage on melee attacks against a creature within 5 feet of the barbarian that's hostile. Moving on, we got a collection of other paths you can choose to walk as a barbarian. Fury that a barbarian feels can come from any source, including their ancestors' deities or the magic around them. So yeah, we have a few extra paths that you could walk when you reach 3rd level, including one of a dwarf-related warrior who follows the dwarf gods and turns himself into a living weapon with spiked armor. So we have Path of the Berserker. I'm all too familiar with this one, as we have our resident half-orc who's a bit of a berserker, even with his even more potently with his berserker axe. Path of the Ancestral Guardian. So these people who walk this path can tap into their ancestors, giving them a little bit of extra power, but yeah, not bad. We also have the Path of the Zealot here. So some deities, gods of combat and destruction, inspire followers into ferocious battle fury. So whilst raging, the first creature they hit on their turn with a weapon takes an extra 1d6 plus half the barbarian's level. This damage is either necrotic or radiant. And yeah, these warriors are also marked for endless battle. If a spell such as Raise Dead has the sole effect of restoring them to life, the caster doesn't need material components to cast a spell. That's pretty cool. Path of the Battle Rager then. So known as Kuljark, literally an axe idiot in Dwarvish. Those taking this path will usually follow a dwarven god of war, but DM can rule it that you have trained with the dwarves and as a member of a different species. But yeah, while wearing spiked armor, you gain additional damage in 1d4 piercing. And yeah, you can pretty much turn your entire body into a weapon. So the spiked armor here, rare type of medium armor made by dwarves, consists of leather coat with leggings covered with spikes that are usually made of metal. Cost you 75 gold, 14 armor class plus your dexterity modifier to a maximum of 2. Disadvantage on stealth and 45 pounds weight. Finally then we have Path of Wild Magic. Barbarians are naturally susceptible to wild influences such as beauty, intense emotion and rampant magic. Those who follow this path can open their awareness and learn location of any spell or magic item nearby. So sort of an anti-magic or magic detecting path for you to choose from. Shadow tendrils lash out at the barbarian, or they teleport 30 feet away, or suddenly they throw a great axe they are holding at a nearby target and have it reappear in their hand at the end of their turn. So yeah, some nice little bonuses you can get from the wild magic table there. So next up then we have a new oath for the paladins. This is the Oath of Conquest. There are emissaries of peace, and then there are knight tyrants. So yeah, if you are following this oath as a paladin, you aren't exactly the nicest guy in the party. You're looking to subjugate others under your control. So top tip, figures you might look at when building your character can certainly include conquerors of history such as Julius Caesar, Hannibal, Napoleon, Alexander the Great, military leaders whose names are still commonly known to this day. For a more fantastical take, you can look at fictional conquerors such as Thanos, Doctor Doom from Marvel, Superman's General Zod. These tyrants never give suggestions, they only command. Kneel before Zod! Zod off. But yeah, like I said, this is pretty much a domineering sort of oath for you to take. So you have some tenets to follow when you take this oath. You have Douse the Flame of Hope. You also have Rule of an Iron Fist and Strength above all. So yeah, some, like I said, not very nice things to consider about when you're deciding to take this oath. So most paladins who sworn this oath become Hell Knights, consorting with powers of the 9 hells, valuing the rule of law over the balm of mercy. So oath benefits. So at 3rd level, you gain Arm of Agathis and Command. So giving you extra defense and the ability to control your opponents a little bit. In addition, your Channel Divinity ability expands your battlefield prowess. So you can use Conquering Presence as well as Guided Strike, giving you extra bonus there. So a powerful +10 on your hit rolls. The way I was rolling hit rolls the other day, I could have definitely done with that. But it was a one-shot, so it weren't too bad. So, role-playing as an Oath of Conquest Paladin, when it comes to your deity, you likely follow a god of war. In our mythologies, you have Mars and Ares. In the Forgotten Realms, you have Tempest, Bane, the gods of tyranny. So your background is most likely going to be military, so a soldier or sailor, or maybe even a noble which has had some military training. Regarding your weapons and armor, you may favor those that showcase your battlefield might. This could be the heaviest armor possible, as well as great swords, great axes, and mauls. Two-handed weapons not only cause maximum damage, but convey a terrible, fearful image. Finally, consider why you are on this path and joining an adventuring party. Maybe you are trying to gain the lay of the land, as it will, and hopefully even recruit your fellow party members as part of your future regime, providing, of course, they don't turn on you. So, finally then, before our adventure, we have a look at a new type of creature. These are the Oozes. It's slime time! Beware the terrifying forms of the deadly ooze. So yeah, you've stepped in the puddle, and suddenly that puddle is crawling up your leg and dissolving your armor. You've just been attacked by a ooze. Yeah, not very nice creatures, the oozes. So they are often more commonly found in the Underdark and abandoned dungeons, where they can live their lives relatively undisturbed and prey upon those that enter. So yeah, every ooze in the Forgotten Realm can trace its lineage back to the demon lord Giblex, the faceless lord, an amorphous, inscrutable, malevolent demon of the abyss. So there's different types of slimy creatures. Most oozes lack sensory organs, limbs, and other humanoid features, but they do have other abilities. So benefit of being an ooze is you can't be blinded, charmed, deafened, exhausted, frightened, or even made prone. And yeah, you do have, of course, a blind sense as well, which is going to be a very handy thing for tracking your prey. So there are three major types of oozes. So we have the grey ooze. These are your pretty common ooze. So most frequently encountered in the wild, often formless and able to slip through spaces an inch wide. This ooze eats and corrodes non-magic metal. Should your weapon be standard, any hit, even if it does damage, will impose a -1 weapon penalty. Should that penalty reach a -5, that weapon will crumble. Next up then we have the black puddings. So these are the most dangerous of the oozes, often climbing up into dark corners of lairs ready to fall on unsuspecting adventurers. Yeah, don't think one's bad enough, because if you damage a ooze, it's able to split its form. And it can continue to split its form, providing each of those forms has 10 hit points or more remaining. So yeah, very horrible little thing. And as you can see, it can pretty much swallow a orc pretty much whole there by slowly absorbing it. And of course, the most famous of ooze is the gelatinous cube. So these three-dimensional terrors of transparent acidic jelly takes firm grasp on whatever happens to touch it on its sticky surface. When they stand absolutely still, gelatinous cube, like other oozes, is indistinguishable from anything around it. As such, they are often used by others as traps, sprung by ignorant adventurers. While it's slow, it uses its massive size and terribly corrosive body to swallow and dissolve heroes. Although for some reason it can't dissolve bones, which is really weird. And certain metals will of course take longer to dissolve as well. So there you are, that's the lowdown on oozes. Next up then we have our latest adventure, and we are continuing our search into the Temple of Sekolah. This is part 2, so a 4 to 5 hour adventure, and yeah, balanced for 3rd level players. So the story so far: the characters have arrived in the Sahuagin city of Kresalak and entered the Temple of Sekolah in search of the lost treasure of the Devil's Dew, a ship that sank in the Sea of Moonshay several decades ago. They have survived the deadly traps and fearsome guardians of the underwater temple's 1st level, and descended deeper into the temple's depths. So we have our 2nd level, and K10, K8 and 9 here, so these are our entry point. So following the locations are keyed on the map in level 2, the temple accompanies that, so see the temple features encounter 31. So the chute from K7 will lead straight here to K8. So 3 Swagan guards in this chamber. One carries a large conch shell, another has the key to the key around its neck for the imprisoned priestess. And yeah, if you don't defeat the guy with the horn, one blow will summon 2 more Swagan from K10. So this is where the guards obviously have their rest area. The hole in the ceiling leads to a 50-foot tunnel back up to the area K7 on level 1. So the imprisoned priestess we got to rescue. So the priestess named Keldrix. Imprisoned here by her fellow priestesses, Keldrix looks up when she becomes aware of the characters, asking them in common language to free her. She'll share the following information. So, some omissions. So, she will neglect to mention certain things, such as the gelatinous cube. Successful wisdom checks will reveal she's holding something back, and yeah, she can either be persuaded or she will, continue to withhold the information. Then we have a gate. So this gate is locked. You can use the key you pick up in K8 to pick, or pick it successfully with a DC 17 dexterity check. With thieves tools, or 22 check if you have just athletics. So yeah, K10 is the sleeping quarters. There are 2 Swagen here who will arrive if their conch shell is blown. 11 is the priestess's quarters. 12 is the shark-infested cavern. 13 is the hunter shark lair. And 14 is the secret tunnel. So yeah, this is the secret tunnel where we have the gelatinous cube to deal with. And then finally we have the Shrine of Sekolah. And then we have a secret door. So a secret door in the west wall leads to Area 14. The way to find and open this is described in Area 14. So yeah, we have a secret door here, going through to Area 14. So yeah, pretty cool. Lovely little map, that. And yeah, so we continue the adventure in, of course, the next issue. So yeah, top tip there about resting in the dungeon. Normally it's not the best place to rest in a dungeon full of enemies, so you can safely take a short rest on level 1 once you've defeated all the Swagen. If they begin a long rest and Swagen swarm down from K7 to level 2, their rest will be interrupted by 3 Swagen. Characters can safely take a long rest on level 2 once they've defeated all the Swagen, or finding the secret tunnel, and after defeating the gelatinous cube. Then we have our stat blocks. So we've got Hunter Shark, Reef Shark, the gelatinous cube, and of course our Swagens there as well. Right, that's everything from issue 32. I'll bring it all back in. I'll give you my final thoughts on this issue. So yeah, great issue, I think. We do encounter, of course, some classic Dungeons and Dragons enemies, the Oozes, Slimes, and Puddings. We learn the importance of having a mount or vehicle to carry an excess amount of treasure. We have a few new oaths to the Paladin, as well as Barbarians and Bards. So yeah, some nice new coverage there for character creation. And yeah, that nice article on runes was pretty cool as well. Lovely good read. So if you haven't already, go back, pause it, and give it a good read if you are a spellcaster of any type, really. The issues dice, pretty good set. As I mentioned, it wasn't meant to be in a tin. So yeah, nice though that we have the tin, but it should have been in the next issue. Other than that, though, really good set of dice. Nice misty gel effect there. Really cool set of dice. Yeah, these issues are starting to get really good. As I said, I think all the issues from this latest delivery is pretty good, so I'm gonna have to give it a good 5 out of 5. Yeah, I can't really give it any lower, can't go any higher. Good lot of information in the magazine, and a brilliant set of dice. Right, that's pretty much it then for this issue. Thank you all very much for watching. Let me know how you're getting on with the collection in the comment section down below. And until next time, keep rolling those crits.